Patrick, how were the skills for everyone in the practice match yesterday?
I think everyone was a little bit rusty early on. I know I certainly was. But I suppose after half time you get a bit more of a knack for it, and it's certainly a good hit out, but you're pretty nervous at the same time because of the calibre of players you're playing with.
The actual to mix and spend a few days with these guys, some of the best players in the league, what's it been like?
Yeah, it's been extraordinary, really. To sit down with Luke Hodge, Mick Riewoldt, champions of the game, and have been for the better part of 10 plus years. So it's been a real eye-opener and something I've really enjoyed.
Anyone that you've admired or looked up to and taken a bit out of mixing with in particular?
Just sitting down and having lunch with guys like Mick Riewoldt. He's a 6-time All-Australian. He's been the captain of his club. He's such a team-orientated person. I've been incredibly impressed with him, and I'm certainly enjoying playing alongside him.
Was yesterday enough of a hit out to get ready for a game?
Yeah, we've done a fair bit of training over the last week, so we've prepared ourselves as best we can, and there's still a few things that we need to work on, but it was a pretty good hit out, I think.
Is every minute valuable with the round ball?
Yeah, it certainly is, because obviously it's something we're not accustomed to, and it's something that we haven't put a huge amount of training in prior to sort of meeting up. So you do as much as you can by yourself, but it's not until you get with the team and you're having those hour sessions kicking the round ball that you can really pick it up well.
What have you found the most challenge so far?
I think just kicking the ball short. It's really hard when the pressure's on and you're running at speed to be able to control the ball. That's something obviously the Irish do really well because they're used to it, but it's something that I've struggled with.
Taylor Walker has signed a 3-year extension. Does that influence your decision on whether you re-sign?
Oh, it's great to see that Taylor's signed on, but as I said before, there's no time limit with that. My focus at the moment is solely on preparing for this international series and then Adelaide's season next year.
And what about captaincy? Any word on that for you next year?
I've been really strong on the fact that Nathan's been a terrific leader and continues to be with our football club. We have a great group of young leaders at the club, but Nathan's standing within our team is certainly unquestioned within our four walls.
Does it interest you? It seems like it's up for grabs.
I don't think it's up for grabs. I think those within the football club really understand the value that Nathan has. He's a terrific leader and continues to be, and I think he will be next season.
Fife's injury, Patrick, does that at all make you rethink? It's not serious, but does it all make you rethink your involvement at all this week?
No, not at all. I think, hopefully, it's just a minor injury to Fifey. It would have been good to have him out there, but no, not at all. I think when you have the people involved in the team that we do, you certainly want to be a part of it.
West Coast sent someone across to sort of keep an eye on Nick Nat.
Yeah, Nico's entourage. No, nothing like that, no.
Patrick, scoring goals or unders has been the problem for Australia in the past, and the tactics generally have been just go for the three-pointers. Is there someone prepared to take it on and try and get the ball in the back of the net, or have you talked much about whether that might be a bit of a focus for you?
It's certainly an important part of the game. It's not something that we're going to really focus on. If there's an over there to be kicked, then we'll kick it. But I think having Chad Wingard around the goals, he looked pretty dangerous yesterday, so he's one that I'd imagine might score a few come Saturday afternoon.
You see a bit of him in showdowns, but to be on the same side as him, and Robbie Gray for that matter, is that a bit of a thrill?
Yeah, I certainly prefer playing with them than against them, that's for sure. And I think Chad's timing around crumbing the ball in the forward half is just outstanding. So we saw yesterday just his agility, and he's incredibly hard to tackle. So I think he's going to be a really important one for us in the forward half.
The Irish have had it over Australia in recent times. How desperate is the side to turn that trend around?
Yeah, it's been really disappointing the last couple of series, and that's something we certainly want to rectify. And I think that shows with the calibre of people that we have involved in this year's series and just how seriously we've taken training in the game yesterday.
What are their weaknesses or areas that you can try to exploit?
I think in terms of weaknesses, we're probably bigger bodies and stronger athletes, but I think they have far greater control over the ball than what they do because obviously it's native to them. So that's an area that we need to, I suppose, exploit them. We need to test the tackles and take them on, but at the same time not try to be too cute with our kicks.
So overall, do you feel like the game is still closer to their game than obviously footy, or have the new rules evened that up more, do you think?
I think the new rules have been pretty good in evening it up. It's not a Sharon that we're playing with, so that's always going to be an adjustment, but I think on par it's pretty even.
What about the defensive structures? You've got a star-studded coaching lineup who all espouse strict defensive structures with their clubs. What's that been like working with those guys and learning those things in this one-off game?
Yeah, that'll certainly be a focus for us, and we've got some incredibly good defenders, and Grant's obviously having a chat today, but that's an area that is really important for us, and we need to make sure that when we do turn the ball over that we're rolling around a defence and pushing numbers back to help support our defence and then try and run the ball forward.
Just back to your contract situation, we've seen other players leave until the end of the year, and obviously it creates headlines during the season. Does that worry you at all, or are you more likely to get it knocked over earlier on?
No, as I've said before, my sole focus at the moment is preparing for this international series, and beyond that it's preparing as best I can and as best the team can in terms of Adelaide for next year, and rectifying our position in terms of missing out on the finals for the last couple of seasons.
Patrick, as far as pre-season, it's a pretty short lead into this game. Where would your body be as far as being AFL match ready? Is that where you're at?
To be honest, it's pretty close. I've been training for a couple of weeks back with the Crows, so it's pretty good. Obviously, the teams that played off in the grand final have had less time to prepare for it, but the majority of squads are back training now in the AFL, so generally I think most players are around the mark.
Was your decision to come back early purely around the IRS stuff, or did you want to get back into it anyway?
Oh, it's a bit of both. It certainly helps, just the change of direction and the higher intensity that you can do when you're training with a team rather than just yourself. It certainly helps preparing yourself. At the same time, we've got a new coach and a few new staff, so it's good to meet them and have a bit of a run around with the young guys as well.